And here in Manage tab, the panel Visual Programming, Dynamo and Dynamo Player. To click on Dynamo, it provides access to Dynamo, open the new projects, do your visual programming, and then or edit your projects. But in the player, you can preview, select, and run your Dynamo graphs from a single dialog. So if you click on Dynamo Player in this way, a window would be opened like Media Player, in which you can play music and movies, that you can modify it, and you can just watch it. So it is just used for performing your projects. And we will talk about the Dynamo Player later, but as you can see here, you can browse the folder, view current folder, and then finds which where the files are located. And here you can refresh the page to just update your files if something has changed, for example. And here you got 3 icons, which one of them is for playing, and with the another one you can edit the inputs, and the another one editing Dynamo. If you click on edit inputs, a list would be open, but here we got no list. Let me create one in Dynamo, and then we can play it in the Dynamo Player. For example, here I open a new project, and then in the library from input, basic, and then I add a string, and then after that I search here, select model element, for example this, and then for example in the string I type test, and then here I create a wall, and then I get the wall as my element. Very well, I search for get parameter value by name. We will talk about all of these nodes later, but right now I'm gonna give you an example to show how does the Dynamo Player work. Let me just search here, set parameter by name, and replace it with the another one. I specify element and test as my parameter name, actually for my value, and I add another one for parameter name. For example, I type here comment to add the word test in the comments of the wall. Here, let's see what is the problem. No parameter found by that name. Actually, I think I made a mistake in typing command. Let me check this out. I select the wall. Yes. Let me just edit the comments. Well done. Now we can see the test in comments. And right now I'm gonna preview this in the Dynamo Player. I click twice on select model element to rename it, for example select element, and then I specify it as my input, and I rename the string as parameter name, the parameter name of the element, and I right click is input. Here we should specify these nodes as input to find them in Dynamo Player, and here importing the value, and then I specify it as input. I save this, and then I name it. I make a new folder, for example Dynamo Player, and then I copy the name to paste it in my file name. And as you can see that the type of the file is dyn. Anyway, I close this and then open Dynamo Player here in Manage tab. Here, browse for folder, and then I find the folder which I have made Dynamo level 1 files Dynamo Player. Here it is. Right now if I click on input, The specified parameters would be enlisted here. Let's check it out. Check this out. Importing the value test. Here I can edit it, for example Iran, or for example to teaching Dynamo, or Dynamo teaching Ariani. Here I can select my element, so I consider the wall. Then here I should specify the parameter. For example, I specify mark here, and then after that I play it. Check this out. We just add the value at the parameter. And for example, I want to create a door here, and then I select the door as my model element and mark as my parameter. I click on play. Check this out. You can see Ariane teaching Dynamo, or for example one again. Play. Check this out. So this was the function of Dynamo player. But if you want to edit in Dynamo, you just should click on it to open the Dynamo. That we will speak about it later, and I just wanted you to get to know with Dynamo player and Dynamo. But right now I click on Dynamo.